Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the return of the Weekly Freak. So I'm so excited that you are here. Say hey when you arrive. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay so that I can give you some love after the fact. But it's been a while, like since March, that I've done the Weekly Freaks, and people have been asking for them. When are they returning? So what I wanted to do is kind of give you some juicy information on the energy for the week ahead. So I probably won't be able to look at all of the comments at once, but I'll come back through. So if you kind of hashtag replay, I'll be able to come back and take a look and answer any questions that you have and just say hi. So let's get started. First things first. Venus is out of bounds and the moon is out of bounds. They are in this kind of like separating action and just making everything feel a little bit emotional or a little bit intense. You might have a lot of emotions today or just feel like you can't quite get a grip on your feminine vibes. It's all good. Just know they're both out of bounds and it may be making you feel a little bit like electrified, if that's the right word to use for today. So let's go through what I'm taking you through for those of you who are new, because some of you are brand new to my world. So I teach about human design, astrology, how the astrology shows up in your human design, and specifically Venus, because Venus is very much about our feminine power and how we're really stepping into, more creativity, more beauty, more abundance, and trying to figure out how we can make those things work for us in a way that doesn't feel like it's so hard. Because what we've been doing up to this point is working in a way that's like very programmed, very like hard, very masculine. And it's about time we sort of try to make things a little bit more fun, a little bit easier. So that's what this is all about. So that's why with the Weekly Freak, I'm going to give you, like, if you just want Venus information, come back on Friday because I'll just do Venus vibes. But Mondays is going to be all about like your emotional wellness for the week, because Monday is the moon's day. And like I said, moon is out of bounds. So I want to give you as much information as I can so that you have a week that feels very powerful and very exciting. All right, so let's start with the sun. The sun is actually in gate 34. And when we look at gate 34, it runs off the sacral center. So this is like workforce, life force, energy, and it's in the gate of power. So just imagine, it's like you may have this big urge or pulse to be doing something. And if you're tired and you're feeling a little bit emotional, maybe today is not the day for that. But you can decide by really like tuning in and trusting in that sacral center, like, is this a yes for me or not? Regardless of your type, right? Type is a whole other conversation, but we all have all of the chart. So I want to make that very clear, because a lot of people will talk about like, you have this, you don't have this. If you're a manifestor, which like I'm a manifestor, but I still get sacral power. When the transits happen, this is where the beauty of you engaging or picking up different vibes or frequency, like energy, that you don't normally experience consistently. So you may have, a lot of power today, and it's your ability to respond to something that is unifying the right people around the right idea at the right time. And we're going to talk about divine timing today, because divine timing comes up quite a few times within the chart. So really tuning into yourself to know, like, is this the right thing and the right time for me, without trying to push time? Because we're constantly trying to push time. Like, why isn't this happening for me now? Why isn't it here? Patience, patience, patience. And you need to kind of feel that pulse. Is it the time? And you'll just kind of know. The earth, which is what grounds us. The sun is where we're meant to shine. So we're meant to shine in our power today. But where we're meant to be grounded is in our patience. So remember, we just talked about divine timing, having the ability to be patient. There's this element of trust. Okay, so like the patience piece is about trusting our own intuition, trusting what we know to be true for ourselves. And, right now there's just like a lot of energy happening around us and in the world. So if you're feeling like you don't know how to trust yourself, start with the small things. Should I have coffee this morning? What do you hear? Yes or no? And just start thinking about the things that, or questioning more about your habits, your daily habits, because you have control over those things sometimes. And try there. Start trusting your intuition and knowing, what needs to be set in place for you to be able to move into your power. Because as you're grounded in the earth, you're able to move into your power. Now, when we move into the moon, she moves very quickly. So she moves through 2 human design gates every single day. Okay, so right now she is in gate 52, which is about perspective, asking you to look at things from a different perspective, a different vantage point. And it's the ability to kind of see the bigger picture, the bigger purpose of what's going on so that you know where to focus your energy. So if you're feeling scattered and you don't know where to focus, kind of tune into your emotional self, because the moon is what drives us. It's our emotional self, our emotional well-being. And it's both of the energies that she's moving through is off the root center. So when we're talking about center, like your sacral, we're talking about your root, all your chakras as well, because they play an important role. And sometimes when I talk about gates, it helps you to ground the energy because you know what center it is. So your root is your base, right? Your base chakra. And that's where you're able to see and expand, is from that place of safety in the root. Okay. She's also going to move into recalibration. So this afternoon, she's going to still be in the root, but she's moving into recalibration, which asks us to transform our experiences. So to think about experiences that we have, and instead of looking at it from the more negative side or the more challenging side of the experiences, to look at them as an opportunity to grow. Maybe we're growing from that space. Again, it's like, what's the bigger vision? Because we're going to talk, Venus is actually in the visionary gate still, right? So your feminine energy is asking you to get a different perspective and to recalibrate your energy to shift into greater abundance, right? So if you're looking around and continually seeing lack surrounding you, it gives you an opportunity to look at what is working, what is right, so that you can feel better in your emotional state because you have a different awareness. And the one thing like we have control over is our emotional well-being, or is our sense of our energy, spending less time with the people that may be sucking energy. It kind of feels like they're sucking your energy dry, but maybe it's just time to step back and kind of like clean and claim your own energy, your own vibes. Now, Mercury is in the gate 14, and this one actually, I love this gate. It's off of the sacral center again, so we're very much in like root and sacral energy, moving into heart calibration, right? Being able to really calibrate your beautiful energy towards what you want. And I'm going to talk about growing where you're planted next, but just be aware that the more you can be at peace with your resources, which isn't always easy, to be at peace with where you're at, it gives you an opportunity to recalibrate how you feel about what is working and isn't working in your life, and spending more of your time and energy focusing on what is feeling good, or where you may find more joy in or creativity in, or you may be called to. It helps you stay out of that lower vibration, lower frequency of what's not working. Because the more you think about what isn't working, it actually screws up your ability to attract or magnetize towards you that in which you really want. So when he is in Mercury, which is the communication, right? So Mercury is getting us to communicate with like, how do we feel about our resources? That's money, energetic, spiritual, your physical energy, all of the things. How do you feel about the abundance in those areas? Okay. And to be at peace with those so that you can trust. It gets you into a state of trusting more is coming. Everything is working out exactly as it should be. And there's this element of divine timing here. So let's go to Venus next, because she's just everything. And Venus is in gate 38, the gate of the visionary. She's been in here since our Friday where we did our Venus vibes, the ability to know what is worth committing to, and to fight for what you feel like you want to commit to without actually feeling like you're fighting for the sake of fighting. That your heart is really calibrating towards what you desire, and that you're not fighting for something that you really don't want. So being aware of that as the visionary in your own life, and to use all of your experiences to craft a vision that anchors the potentiality for something amazing and something beautiful and something meaningful and worthy of your attention. Okay? Becoming the own visionary in your life, which, right now can be distracting and can be feel like it's complicated. But just if you can stay in the bigger place of expansion for yourself, because again, this is very root energy. It is literally like you've got on one side of your root center, you have the moon this afternoon, really encouraging you to recalibrate your energy. And then on the other side, you have Venus in the visionary being like, okay, what are we working towards? What are we doing? And it's almost like Venus is separating from grandmother moon being like, and I'm off, I'm leaving the nest to go do my thing, my big beautiful thing. And you're growing where you're planted. So you're taking all of that power that you have in yourself to know you're going to be okay and wherever you're growing and glowing. So just know that if you're in a place right now, a big transition or transformation, just trust in yourself and trust that, whatever you're feeling is the right thing. It is the right thing, and you should just do it, because there are no mistakes in this life. You get to redo whatever doesn't work out. And sometimes the things that we feel like are a mistake helped us to recalibrate towards the thing we were meant to be doing in the first place. It just doesn't feel like that at the time. So I'm here to support you. Now, I want to just mention this. Venus actually tomorrow is going to move into the gate 54, which is also still off the root center. And this is the gate of divine inspiration. So be prepared for your beautiful divine inspirations. If you're like, I have no idea what I'm working towards, tomorrow you might get an insight. And now let's talk about Mars. We're just going to go Mars, and then I'm going to flip through the big guys. But because this is where your energy shifts so frequently throughout the week that the more you're aware of it, the more you can understand like what you're feeling, somebody else is going through too, right? So if you're like, why are people acting so crazy? Or why are people so emotional? Well, I just told you where the moon is today. And both the moon and the Venus are out of bounds, which makes things a little bit more, electrifying or entertaining, however you want to look at it. So Mars is in the gate 1. Purpose, okay? Mars is how we take action. It's like where we find the ability to like drive something forward, move something forward, to light the fire. And we just moved into Sagittarius season. So remember that Mars being in this gate of purpose, we're not looking for purpose externally. A lot of people talk about finding your purpose. How do you find your purpose? Let me help you find your purpose. Listen, your purpose is literally you becoming authentically who you are. So if you can allow yourself to be in a creation process of, what feels good to me today? What do I want to explore today? Yes, you may have a job and you have something you've got to go to, but this is a place for you to really think about, how could I allow myself to be more like the person I really want to be, the woman I want to express myself as. And maybe that's as simple as wearing a new style, trying a new food, whatever that creative part of yourself looks like. That's going to help you come into resonance more with who you actually are, by allowing yourself to try different things and see what feels good. So it's Mars in the gate number 1 purpose is the ability to know the authentic self and a deep connection with your life purpose. So not getting caught up in that search for purpose, just knowing like you being you is good enough, and your purpose is you being you, fully expressed, unapologetically having a great time, doing you. As my sister would say, do you, boo. I have no idea what that means, but I take her advice often. Okay, now let's burn through Jupiter, Saturn, Chiron, Neptune, Pluto. These are the big guys. They take a lot longer to move, and they still affect our energy, but not as intensely as the personal planets do, right? So let's talk Jupiter's in Catalyst. Boom. Making things happen, changing things up, expanding things. Really, Jupiter's all about expansion and growth and really allowing us to, start something new, start something fresh. Saturn is in gate 41, and Saturn is the boss. Saturn is the guy up there kind of like calling the shots sometimes. not sometimes, all the time. You need to be one with your Saturn. If you watch the Adele One Night Only, you saw her Saturn earrings and her Saturn tattoo. She's going through her Saturn return, which is like, it really opens up ways for you to work more effectively or efficiently in your life. It shows you where things are not working well and encourages you, or like takes the cosmic 2x4 and slaps you upside the head to say, we should actually try this way. So just thinking about that with imagination, how can you be more imaginative in your life, more creative in a way that's sustainable and allows you to maintain a lifestyle that feels good to you. Chiron is in the gate 24, which is the gate of blessings, recognizing experiences for growth and expansion. Experiences are literally our gift to allow us to understand how we can move and expand forward. I'm going to apologize now. My child has given me his cold, which was so nice of him, right? And Neptune is in the gate surrender. How perfect is that? I have to surrender to the runny nose, and here we are. Gate of surrender is all about allowing ourselves to just like be in the flow. Go with it. You can't do anything about it sometimes, so sometimes you need to find a way to like make it all work and be cool with it. And Pluto is in the gate of wonder. Again, this is asking us to see the bigger picture, see it from a different perspective, and to just stay out of the small insular details that say, you can't do this, here's why. Like, you might have this great idea and you're like, I want to go do this thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, but who am I to do that? Or why should I do that? Who cares? Go and do it. See what happens. So there you are. That is your weekly freak in a nutshell. I'll be back on Friday with Venus vibes. I'm not nailing myself down to a time because, let's face it, I have a 4-year-old. Things are crazy bananas. But I do want to just mention that with Venus being in Capricorn, right? But out of bounds, remember, Capricorn is very much around our ability to, structure, to move something forward, to like take it and run with it. And then the moon being in Cancer is all around like home and sensitivity. You see they're like on opposite ends of the spectrum here, like totally opposite each other, asking us like, how do we feel about these things in our moon? So go back and listen if you didn't hear about the moon. But I'm sending you all so much love. I'm hoping you're going to find this helpful. I find this such a great way to navigate my week and to, understand when I'm working with clients, like what they may be going through on the next level of their charts, because your chart is one thing. So we're talking about your human design, your astrology, and specifically Venus, because Venus is our feminine power, right? But when we look at your chart, your natal chart, like this was the beautiful star-powered chart you were blessed with when you came into this world, and those are your placements. But regardless of your placements, you're still being affected by what's transiting. And like the planets don't just take a break. They're always moving, doing something, which means we're always dealing with this energy, and you are energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. The more we begin to recognize like the frequency of what we are calibrating and putting out into the world, like this is what brings us in connection with other people, or it actually helps remove people from your life or repels them against, you and what you're doing, because they're not your people. And that's cool. Not everybody needs to be your person, but remember, we're all on this beautiful planet together, and sometimes we forget how actually connected we are. And if Venus is the cosmic heartbeat, she reminds us that the stronger we can be in ourselves, the more deeply we can be connected with other people, because we understand, maybe not what they're doing, but we can understand where they're at. And as we meet people where they're at, we are able to like be in better connection with other humans. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for your time, and I appreciate you, and I'm sending you all the love and all the vibes today. I am signing out on Insta. We did Insta and Facebook. Now let's see if I can close these out and save them to get them up to the YouTube channel without blowing them up. So have a great day. So much love to all of you. I'll see you back here on Monday for Venus Vibes. And then, of course, on Friday for the Weekly Freak. Bye.